Okay, here it's Lisa Stade here of the YouTube channels of Lisa Stade and Hitler Obsessed, and I'm going to talk about part 2 about the real history and the view of the plot and synopsis of Downfall, the 2004 film that's about Adolf Hitler's last days, the end of the Third Reich, Hitler's suicide, and the Battle of Berlin that has the main role of Adolf Hitler played by Bruno Ganz. And the next scene of the where I left off is of Hitler's birthday gathering. And at the time of Hitler's death, a lot of people were pretty much on Hitler's last birthday of April 20th, 1945, at his 56th birthday, his last days. Everybody was wanting to leave because Hitler sent out this one order with all the generals of military high command and major Nazi leaders, the SS, were all to leave. And at the time, Himmler was trying to get Hitler out because he knew that if Hitler died, he would have to die also, and so would Fegelein, which is Himmler and Fegelein several times throughout this film tried to start getting Hitler to leave and tell him, you gotta get your backside out of Berlin. Please don't die in the bunker because hint hint, nudge nudge, wink wink. We don't want to die too. We don't want to kill ourselves too, which is what Hitler would have had everyone ordered to do for him. Uh, uh, so Hitler would have ended up having everyone in that bunker that went down with him, pretty much dying. All the important leaders, everyone. The only person that was suggested by Hitler in his will to live but chose to die with his wife and have his kids killed was the Goebbels family, with Joseph Goebbels being made after Hitler died the next president of the uh, Third Reich there, after Hitler died. He didn't want anyone to take the title of Führer. So he was the only Führer. He was going to be the first and the last of with that title of the Führer leader there of the Third Reich. So no one else is going to have that. Only Goebbels is gonna be president, and Donitz, I guess, would have been chancellor or president there. I think Goebbels was the chancellor. One of them would have been one of those two roles. So the two branches of president and chancellor, there was a combination into the Führer, who was the chancellor and the president of the Third Reich, which is Adolf Hitler, was now split back into two different positions held by two different people, like it was before Hitler became the supreme Führer and dictator of the Third Reich. Remember when he signed the Enabling Act that gave him emergency dictatorial powers that never got him out of Germany, I know. Never got him out until he killed himself with his wife. Uh, Himmler tries to tell Hitler that, please leave Germany. Please leave with the rest of everyone that's a big wig in the military, the OKW, the German High Command, the Wehrmacht High Command, the German Armed Forces High Command, which is the OKW and the OHW there. And every Nazi leader, member, big wig of the SS, there's every big important somebody in the Third Reich that was leaving and escaping from Berlin from the Russians because Hitler did pass an order for that uh, in the movie plot there, and that's actually something Hitler had to pass so before he decided, go the way of the dodo bird and die and kill himself with his wife. Uh, Hitler ended up with, Himmler ended up wanting Hitler, pleading with him to get, to leave Berlin because he didn't want to die. He was just wanted to save his own skin with Fegelein home and Fegelein though. And Hitler says no. And the next scene is of Holman Figurline does the same thing with Untergang, while Hitler is staring at a model of the Great Germania uh, city that was to be the future replanning and construction of this mega metropolis, more daydream kind of thing Hitler had about Berlin after the war. Once they had final victory, they're gonna build this huge thing. I mean, yeah, Hitler would sit there and fantasize about just wanting to build this thing. It was only a fantasy, thank goodness, because the guy died. But we get to see Hitler just sitting there with his head in the clouds, fantasizing about this, rose-colored glasses lenses, rose tinted glasses of this Germania that would come into existence, or Hitler would just daydream in front of this, or sitting or standing in front of this model of Berlin there. They actually, I think, have it in a museum somewhere in Berlin. The actual thing, either that or it's a replica. I saw that somewhere online. Don't know if it's the real deal or just a reproduction. Uh, but yep. You get to see Hitler daydreaming, like a college student, daydreaming, through the class and wondering why the grades are falling. But just to use a bit of a joke from some of my old friends here. Some old friends I've known, just to be anonymous though. Uh, but yeah, so even Hitler tells Trudeau Jung, who asked Hitler for in on the behalf of Holman Figurine, no, I'm not going, and he's just stubborn as heck. And Holman Figurline tells Himmel, and Himmel says, you know what, to heck with it, I'm going out to the Allies, and I'm gonna set up and send out peace feelers and negotiation. And knowing Hitler and the history of this stuff, that was a total taboo. No, no, this the terrible thing you don't do with him is go out and make peace with the allies you're at war with, without, God forbid, his permission. Or probably with his permission, because Hitler didn't want that to happen. He wanted everyone to go down with the ship with him because he knew he was going. He was going down, and he was taking everything with him. Uh, so Himmler gets in his car while every one of the SS leaders are in the Chancellery parking garage there, and leaving, fleeing out of Berlin, getting the heck out of Dodge, or in this case, Berlin, Germany, from the Russians. And, Figurline says, I'll still try, I'm the only one. I have only my scalp to save you. Uh, so, which, one of the other scenes I forgot to mention is Hitler does, wake up even after the scene of, Trudeau Jung being woken up with her girlfriends or friends there, up in the apartments they were staying at, the rooms there in the Chancellery, from the Russian artillery. Hitler does try to phone call, and gets upset, where is this artillery coming from? And one of his generals tells him, it's coming from pretty close, from, pretty much miles or kill miles, I guess, depending on which measurement you use. Here in America, I guess it'd be miles here. Uh, which Hitler's like, it can't be that close. I thought it was far away. What do you mean? So he goes on his phone there and calls up one of the generals, and they confirm it, and Hitler just slams the phone down and says, pretty much the showing word of truth, effort, and walks off to his office because he realizes he mucked up the math there. He mucked up the calculations, and he's still mad at his generals. Another scene is of Hitler is has his I guess it's another meeting with his generals or whatever on the scene there. And he's trying to go through, we gotta call reinforcements, and he brings up the Steiner guy. If you can look for the original video clip, that the Hitler Man's apologies are made off of. This is the actual guy Hitler was trying to call up, but he never was around. This guy was he was long gone. He was already surrounded by the Russians. And, Hitler just had so much hope in Steiner that he would come and save the day. And Hitler's generals at the end of this are like, Hitler's just lost it. He's trying to move armies that don't exist anymore. We're pretty much screwed there. I don't want to say something, that would get you a yellow dollar sign here on YouTube. But they're arguing that even his generals would argue, hey, the Fuhrer's the Fuhrer, he has the say, because that was pretty much how at the time, the German armed military, the armed forces were run, was by Hitler's command, which was probably a pretty stupid thing, to do. I don't think that's how American military works, what I've heard in, research here. In World War II. It sure wasn't that way. Like, no, the way the Third Reich was, which was pretty much the reason why. Because you put all the position in Hitler. Well, this was the reason why for that was because Hitler didn't trust his generals because the Valkyrie assassination plot, because that was considered to him a bunch of generals who did conspire against him. Now I'm gonna end here with part 2 and continue on with part 3. This is Lisa Stayed here signing off and telling you to become a subscriber to my YouTube channel of Lisa Stayed and Hitler Obsessed. Hit the notification bell on my channel of Lisa Stayed and Hitler Obsessed. Leave a comment, leave a like, a thumbs up there on Lisa Stayed and Hitler Obsessed on all of my videos, please, and on this video. Donate to my Patreon account and my subscribe store. You can visit my BitChute.com BitChute channel of Lisa Marie Stayed. You can send me a friend request or a Facebook comment. I will try to make sure to keep up to date with commenting and replying. I'm busy with a lot of things in life, just with life in general and stuff, and we got also my schoolwork there too. I mean, spring semester's coming up here too, so I gotta start getting on board that too here. Getting a bit closer to that associate's degree being done and transferring the Sac State. Just like I'm committed to this YouTube channel here too. Bye y'all. Now on to part 3 here of this video.